So guess what? El Salvador's Bitcoin law already has people out protesting it in the streets. Who could have predicted this? I hate being right. Well, I like being right. I hate what it usually means, which is, something that people have been hyping up and saying, oh, everything's going to go awesome and great, is not turning out awesome and great. In case you've been sort of living under a crypto rock, as it were, and no, this is not a NFT pet rock reference or anything, El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender a couple months ago or so. And unfortunately, as part of this law, and this is the thing that most people glossed over, did not even know about, or when it was pointed out to them, they just hand waved it away like, oh, it's just how things work. It compels businesses to accept Bitcoin for payments and for previous debts, and they have to accept it. Unless, of course, there's some great technical overcoming that they can't do it with, which I don't know exactly how tight that loophole is. And they also have the option to convert it to USD through a custodial government-provided solution. But they still have to take it to begin with. And if they don't want that solution, then, there you go. I'm going off this article in the Decrypt, which basically says that there's people taken to the streets protesting this law, and approximately 77% of people polled aren't in favor of Bitcoin. Oh my gosh, the amount of people saying this is the best thing for Bitcoin, this is great adoption, oh my gosh, everything's turning out so fantastic, yay, lightning laser eyes, all this stuff. Like, who would have thought that this wouldn't go well? I mean, you're literally taking the government and forcing them to adopt a new currency, making Bitcoin actually a fiat currency now. I mean, the definitions of fiat are a little bit all over the place, but by fiat, by dictate, means the government says, this is your money, take it or go to jail. And that's what Bitcoin is in El Salvador. It's even being airdropped, as far as I have heard rumors of, to every citizen, so issued by the government. So making a new fiat, it's like, who would have thought that deciding to issue a new fiat currency would save all crypto's problems or save the people? They would be happy to get a new fiat currency to have to deal with, one that's much more technically difficult to handle and slow and expensive and other stuff. I did a whole video on this stuff, so I don't need to rehash everything here. But just think for a second. If you're a merchant in a developing country, it's hard enough in a fully developed country, or whatever they call for the first world these days. But in a developing country, it's hard enough to get the infrastructure, the internet access, the whatever, and just figure out how to accept a cryptocurrency payment. That's why there's very few places in the US even that take crypto for payment. I mean, I know just about all the places where I spend it, And just imagine the hardship you're putting on other people. And a lot of people are complaining, saying, the volatility is so crazy, I don't want to earn money and have it just go, lose half my money overnight kind of a thing. Which is, a valid concern for a developing economy. It's not quite all the way there yet. The Bitcoin and crypto ecosystem is still relatively unused outside of speculation. And the fact that you're mandating people take this stuff and be exposed to the volatility risk, or if you don't want to do it, you have to all go through this one centralized company, which, can you imagine how that's going to work? The customer support, just trying to deal with all that. It's like, if you think being on the phone for hours with your bank is a nightmare, imagine a Lightning bank, essentially, a Lightning network-based bank. Imagine how much worse that's going to be. And so they all have to do this. And anyone who has 2 bits of sense in their brain could figure out that people are not going to be jazzed about this. They're not going to be super excited. Yay, we're joining the digital revolution. And let me state categorically that if your adoption plan rests on compelling people to use your product, odds are your product is not a good one that people should be using to begin with. Now, I'm a big believer in crypto and the crypto revolution. I got into Bitcoin first, as everyone did. I was living off of it on bank for a while. And while there's other cryptocurrencies that work a lot better for payments, all of them still, it's not to where I could just say, everyone just start using it today. You have to have compassion for the people who are going to be using it. It doesn't always fit everyone's life today. Of course, there's ways you can start moving that into your life, but just this idea that you just mandate everyone to do it. It just comes from this perspective of, let's be perfectly honest, it's been a dozen years since Bitcoin came around. Very few people use it in payments today for very real reasons. And instead of having those reasons addressed and fixed, and then slowly but surely crafting expert marketing and sales strategies and companies that support this kind of stuff, and rolling it out bit by bit to the entire global economy. Instead of doing that, they just sat around their laurels, did dumb stuff, talked about a hodl moon Lambo, all this nonsense, and then they're like, oh, we should get it used. Oh, let's, suck up to Jack Dorsey. Oh, let's mandate it by law to a whole country. That'll solve our problems. Yay, look how well we're doing. Not only completely antithetical to the, permissionless nature of this entire crypto revolution, but it just shows a sign of like total failure. And so, will Bitcoin be mass adopted as a currency and a payments method? Who knows? But not if they keep on doing dumb stuff like this. Next time, listen to me and you won't be surprised when things go this terribly.